Got Your Back pod stream is powered by Play Alberta. Did you know a local Play Alberta winner scored over $250,000 on Cleopatra 2? From major casino winners every hour to jackpots worth millions, there's never been a better time to sign up. Must be 18 plus to play. If you gamble, use your game sense.
How about those Edmonton Oilers blue liners, folks? Making history in multiple different ways. Holy snap. Back-to-back hat tricks from defensemen? First time ever. Welcome to Got Your Back post-game edition. So much to talk about tonight. Some good, some bad. But again, a history maker. That makes for good content. Jason Strudwick standing by. We got Zuby tonight. And we'll even have Rob Brown coming up in a little bit. As always, Struds, our show is presented by our title sponsor, Timber Haas Developments.
Hello, everybody, and they are the leader in custom and infill development with the knowledge and experience to bring your dreams to life. If you're tired of cookie cutter, copy and paste designs with no soul, see the team at Timber Haas and discover how naturally inspired living can make your life better. Take all the guesswork out of your in-build project and work with experienced leaders. Visit timberhaas.ca.
Hello, everybody, and hello to you too, Zuby. How are we doing tonight, pal?
I'm doing well. I'm feeling good. I'm glad to be here, and glad to see the team put a couple of pretty exciting wins together. They're not Picassos. They're not even Rembrandts. I stole that joke from Steve. Thank you, Steve. But yeah, so I don't know. It's fun hockey to watch.
It is. It's kind of like hair-raising hockey a little bit too, hey, Struds? Like if you're a head coach, you're looking at these, like what are they, have they given up 15 goals in 3 games? Did I do that math right? There's a lot going on in both directions with this team right now, pal.
Oh man, this is something. I honestly I don't know how to feel about this game. Yeah, it's great that they won, but and you take the 2 points and bank them and get the hell out of there. But yeah, it's just not, you're winning. I'd say that's the best part of it. That and the hat tricks. After that, It's not the best situation all around.
That Anaheim team, holy smokes, are they going to be good? They're already good, but I'll remind everybody, Troy Terry, Leo Carlson, Mason McTavish, is Vetrano out tonight too? Like the number of they were basically missing three of their top, I don't know, 4 or 5 players. So it was impressive stuff from them, and that is a team that's coming on big time. So let's get to breaking this thing down, shall we? Our breakdown on Got Your Back is presented by our friends over at the Canadian Brew House.
During every Oilers game day at the Canadian Brew House, enter at any Edmonton area location for your chance to win Oilers home game tickets. Plus, enjoy $1 off Molson Canadian and Coors Light tankards. Edmonton-born, Canadian-operated, troops.
It is the Canadian Brew House. We should just start here with Mattias Ekholm, a hat trick tonight. You know, there's always so much focus on Evan Bouchard's offense on that pairing. I think sometimes we kind of forget, like, Mattias Ekholm has some offensive chops too. We've seen it before and scored goals in different ways tonight.
So it's a bunch of things. It's timing, understanding when to jump up. Like, he's not the fastest skater. I wouldn't say he's slow, but he's not a burner that can fly up the ice. But he understands where to jump, when to jump, and kind of where to go. You think about the goal that he has a bit of a give and go there with. Behind the back, taps it over time and drives the net, stick on the ice, and taps it 5-hole on the return pass. Really nice. But he also has a really good shot. You know, he loves that far side when he comes down the left wing. He loves going far side shelf. I don't know how many goals we've seen him score like that, but again, does a good job at his own blue line, jumps up in the play because he stops it and finds open ice, gets the puck, walks down, rips it topside, far side shelf. So it's just, he's got a good shot, and he just got a sense of when to be there and when to arrive and what to do when he gets there. So it's not as sexy. I don't think his offensive game is Bouchard. It's not as fast as maybe a Cale Makar, but there's an offensive player inside there, no matter how he likes to downplay post game.
And I think, important to note, like, Ekholm's been dealing with some injury stuff. Last year after the Four Nations, before the Four Nations, heading into the playoffs, obviously what happened, like, he hasn't been that healthy, Struds. And it seems like the last, I don't know, I want to say maybe 4 weeks or so, it feels like Ekholm's kind of getting back to being the Mattias Ekholm that, the Oilers, quite frankly, really, really need him to be.
Oh, they need him. And, I feel terrible that he's not going to Olympics, but it's the best thing for the Oilers, right? So these two things can both be true. You can feel terrible about him not going, but no, it's a great thing for the Oilers. He'll be able to rest, heal up any bumps and bruises, go get a tan on his face, and feel good about himself when he comes back, and then ready for a hard push, hopefully again, deep into the playoffs.
Yeah, good night from him. Normally we do the ad read ahead of the sound, but on a hat trick night, you got to just hear from the guy. So to the Weiss Johnson soundbox, Zuby, let's roll a little Mattias Ekholm.
Yeah, I don't know. It was like, you look at the goals too, it's just trying to join the rush on the first two, and sometimes they just happen, right? There's no real explanation. It's not like I changed my game overnight to then obviously score a hat trick. It's just one of those things. Some nights you have your bounces go your way and whatnot, and yeah, try to enjoy this one because probably be my last.
First time in history, two defensemen scored back-to-back hat tricks in the NHL.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. Yeah,
a lot of years.
Yeah, no, for sure. And Evan actually said it on the bench there, so it was a cool little moment for us. Like, we've played together now for quite a while, and love playing with them, and to be able to have nights like this on, not back-to-back nights, but back-to-back games it was a pretty special moment.
And for anybody wondering, yes, that was Jim Matheson. He has risen from the dead to be partaking in scrums. Not sure if you caught that the other day. Struds, did you see Matty's tweet?
No, what did he say?
This is so good. So we're in the locker room doing post game. Excuse me, and I get a text message from JJ Hebert, our old buddy and former Oilers PR guy, and he sends me this Facebook post, and it's like, please tell me this isn't true. And I look at this post, and it's like one of those BS Facebook whatever bot sites, blah blah blah, regretting to inform everyone that Jim Matheson has passed away. And so I'm literally standing next to Matty when I get this thing. So I take a picture of Matty and I send it to JJ, and he's like, thank God, right? So the next day, Matty, in classic Matty fashion, tweets, there was a social media post that I have passed away. Clearly I have not. And, so funny enough, because Matty's known as the guy that always asks the injury questions, but it was Matty providing an injury update on Matty on social media. So it was a pretty, and then, I think it was Spec led the charge, but there was a bouquet of flowers and a condolences card for Matty at his press box seat last game, which was pretty funny.
That's so good. It was funny because I saw a picture Chris Pronger took and said, I see here Jim Matheson's alive and well. And I was like, what is he talking about? Like, did I miss something? So, now I get it. Now it all adds up.
Anyways, there you go. Okay, we got some more Mattias Ekholm appreciation sound. Zuby, go ahead and roll it if you want.
Okay, this is Nuge.
I mean, you know what you're going to get from him, and usually it's hard to play against. He's going to make really good first plays and jump into the rush when he can, but he's going to be tough to play against every night. So when he has a night like this, it's obviously exciting, and it makes a huge difference for our team.
That's that. Any more?
Not on Ek, no.
Okay, no problem. And Struds, our sound from the Weiss Johnson Soundbox is presented by Weiss Johnson Heating and Air Conditioning.
Our good buddies at Weiss Johnson are now offering no interest for 24 months to make your purchase easier. Visit wjjingle.com for exclusive specials just for Got Your Back jingle lovers. Let's hit it.
I mean, back-to-back Hatties. My instinct is to let this whole thing play. Back-to-back hat tricks by defensemen. I think we got to just do it. Big finish here. Yeah, never disappoints that the Weiss Johnson jingle. Okay, Struds, that was a record. Back-to-back games. First time in NHL history that defensemen have scored hat tricks in back-to-back games. Also a record. 4 goals from defensemen in, what was it, 3:49 or something like that? Anyways, in record time. The Oiler blue line last couple of games just lighten it up from back there, Struds, and that, that's good. You'll take all the offense you can get from your blue line anytime you can, and tonight they really chipped in.
They did, and it was great plays. Got Spencer Stastny, shooting it off of someone's foot. I think it was like double foot pounce to make it happen. You got Darnell Nurse shooting short side. You obviously got Ekholm doing he did with the 2 goals, in very quick, like 2 minutes or less that he got his in there. And it's all very positive. Like those guys, when they, well, I guess other than the last one, when they jump in the play and support the rush, they do have good shots. Whether it's obviously Bouchard, we know Wallman can both shoot it, but Nurse and Ekholm can shoot as well. You don't necessarily need them leading the rush and carrying the puck all the way and making plays, but when they support that rush, it gives another option for the Oilers forwards, although that wasn't exactly how the goals are scored tonight by those guys. Not all of them, at least.
An adjustment in the pairings as well. I was asking Chris Knobloch earlier today about, trying to play Stastny and Wallman together, having someone playing their offside, how that's working out. And lo and behold, he was ready to make a change tonight. So he went back to mostly that Nurse Wallman pairing and sort of just move some things around, Struds. Look, I know it wasn't a great night defensively for them, and we'll deal with that in a moment here. But do you feel like that's a more realistic configuration, what we saw tonight?
I think that it gives you the best chance of success, especially at home, because you're able to make sure you can kind of get the matchups you want. I believe in the playoffs. Well, I'm not really sure actually, but I'd like to see the top 4 all together. And those top 4 are obviously Bush and Ekholm, and then you've got Nurse and Wallman. I think it's important. They had a good game tonight for sure, the 2 of them together. And then that leaves Stastny and Emerson to sort it out. Now, their ice time could be, somewhat limited if this is what it looks like going into the playoffs, which is a concern. It'd be something you have to think about, and maybe you have to mix and match those guys with the people above them. But all that being said, I think for regular season, this is a good way because it gets those 4 guys playing well together. You know exactly what you're getting from those 4. Then the bottom pairing has to make sure they sort it out and can pull their own weight in that third pairing.
Yeah. Okay, so Anaheim's a good team. They got lots of really exciting players. Watch out for these guys this year and beyond. Let's put some perspective on this, though, Struds. I mean, they're without Troy Terry. They're without Leo Carlson. They're without Mason McTavish. They were without Vetrano, I believe. I mean, those are 4 good players, like really, really good players. And they gave the Oilers all they could handle. But I think, and credit to Anaheim for doing that. But Struds defensively here, the Oilers, it's messy. And they definitely have to tighten some stuff up here because they're not going to have any sort of long-term success giving up as much as they're giving up.
Well, they're also missing their netminder, right? Their top goalie. And Willy Husso.
And they played last night.
Yeah, 100%. And yeah, they did, although they came out with a good jump. Their defensive game wasn't good. I'd probably focus on the penalty kill. Really just not well. First off, we can talk about the penalties. Like some of those penalties, the first one, Roslovic in the offensive zone, back checking. There's 4 other guys. It wasn't like it was a breakaway, right? There's 4 other people between his net and the puck carrier. tough penalty. I mean, he just got it in there and just ripped the guy's armpit. So I didn't like that one. But you know, that on that one, Bouchard it was a lazy clear, right? You just rims it around the boards. It was perfect on the tape. Guy gets it to the middle, and a short time later, it's in the net. Granlund, I think, was that one. And then the two that I'm really surprised by are the way the Oilers played, and specifically Darnell Nurse, the shot off the flank. It looks like they're being told to take away that middle pass and don't let that puck go across. And I get that intention. The problem is there are some fairly capable shooters standing on the flanks, just dropping bombs from there, from the dots. And those guys will take those shots, you know. And the case of the first one, Granlund scores. I want to say it was Killorn in front of the net, right in front of his eyes, in Jari's eyes. So could he save that? Yeah, I guess you could say that. But, you know, I still believe there's a way to get your body in front of that shooting lane and deny the pass at the same time with your stick. You know, goalies might say, well, we want to take that shot on. Okay, that's fine. Well, tonight we saw it twice. Now, once it went off Darnell's pad. But I don't know. I want to believe you got to take that shot away. I played differently. So maybe that's the way they're being told to play. I'll have to watch it further. I haven't noticed it that dramatically with their penalty kills so far, but they gave up 3. It was a hat trick of power play goals for Anaheim.
Yeah, so, you know, I'm going to key in on Darnell Nurse a little bit here, buddy, because I do think it was a struggle for him on multiple occasions tonight, and you're focusing on the penalty kill. I'll include that. I mean, he had a clear opportunity to make a hard play with the puck and maybe a bit of a different decision. Probably had a second to look up through the middle when he got it close to in behind the net there. He hard rims it around on the kill. And then if, you know, you say they're being told to take away that pass through the middle, well, I mean, pass goes right in front of him, whether that was his passing lane or not. So didn't clear it. Then the pass gets seamed through him. Like, there were some tough looks from Darnell Nurse tonight on a couple of fronts. I know he scored a goal and that's good, but to me it was there. You know, he was at the center of the struggles defensively.
Yeah, I hear you, and but I mean, as far as the penalty kill goes, you know, for him to play that strongly and in more into the middle, I have to watch it more closely. Like I hadn't noticed that before. Now maybe someone else on the stream has noticed that, but I just don't know how you, as a group, would decide to give a guy on a left shot on that dot a clear look. Like I just don't. But they are, you know, it's clear they are trying to take away that cross seam pass. That's something they are trying to work on. We saw a goal by Hyman on like a similar idea, not exactly the same, but similar cross ice pass. So, yeah, that one, I'll have to. I honestly have to pay more attention.
It wasn't in the shooting lane. I didn't really think he was taking away a dangerous passing lane because there was another Oiler over there in that passing lane. So he's not in the shooting lane, not taking away the passing lane, and there's a guy behind him standing in front of the net screening the goalie. So he was just kind of in no man's land there for sure. So anyways, it's interesting. You know, Nurse, I think there's some struggles there, and he's a big key to this. They need Darnell Nurse playing well. And yeah, it was an interesting night from him. Even the energy after he scored. Did you notice his sort of, I don't know, he scored, he just kind of went there, a little fist bump with the new guy. You know, like there wasn't any hugs, wasn't any nothing. Little fist bump, like la-di-da, off he goes. It was an interesting night.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think he was okay. The problem is that when you get scored on, it highlights some of your, you know, it's highlighted, right? It's if you don't get scored on those, it definitely doesn't draw as much attention. You know, I did like he and Walman together, so I think that's important that was a positive thing. The penalty killing, they have to review how they do it, and I have to be closer study of it, obviously.
All right, let's talk a little bit about Josh Szymanski, who made his Oiler debut tonight. We're going to do that in our storylines, though, Struds, because our storyline tonight was regarding Josh Szymanski making his NHL debut, and that is brought to you by Play Alberta.
If you want access to odds boosts on every Oilers game all season long, Play Alberta has you covered. From major winners every hour to hundreds of popular games and jackpots worth millions to money that stays in the province, there's never been a better time to join the fun. Download the all-in-one Play Alberta app today to find out if you're Alberta's next winner. Must be 18 plus to play. Remember to use your game sense.
Sorry to interrupt you there, Struddy. I like this one, Zuby, because you never know. You just never know. You had Szymanski to score a goal tonight, an anytime goal. It had great odds. And Zuby, it was so close to hitting. It was so close
to the goal line. Was that Jackson Lacombe? He had a heck of a game too. Was that him who pulled it off the goal line there?
Might have been. Can't remember.
Jack Lacombe, yeah.
Yeah, it's so much fun to, we did it with Clattenburg too, and he scored the next game. And it just seems like so many of these kids, they come out with, a rocket. They're shot out of a cannon in these first games. So it was pretty exciting. So we decided to give it a shot tonight. And so close. That would have been really cool for him. We tried, though. Very close.
Very close. What'd you make of him, Struds?
Liked it. You're always looking for skating. You hear the big man, and I liked what I saw in preseason. I wanted to see more, and that's always a good sign because it's not always the case when guys get sent down to the minors. So watching him tonight, I thought he looked good. Like he was pretty responsible. Played on a fairly offensive line. He wasn't a step behind, pretty fast line. Didn't think he was a step behind. Even the goal or the non-goal that you're thinking about, stopped by Jack Lacombe. He was in the right place. Like, you don't just get lucky. People, well, I guess you shouldn't say every now and then, I guess you get lucky, but when you're in the right place, the puck comes to you. And he was in the right place, just in the slot. Puck comes to him from Rishaug. And yeah, he should have buried it mid-net, but he's only played at that point probably 3 minutes in the NHL. You're probably not, probably the sharpest sense of what you have to do at that moment. But he looked good. Again, I'd like to see more. I'd like to see more of him. And this was one of those guys that Bowman brought in, and they're trying to, find some diamonds in the rough here for him. But he's a big body and skates pretty well, buddy.
Yeah, I liked him. I think, and from what I understand, his speed over the last 2 years has really improved. Like his skating is now, he's a good skater. I wouldn't say it's the strength of his game, but he gets around well out there for a big guy. And sure. I guess that wasn't necessarily the case a couple of years ago. So he's putting the work in on that. He's on the number one penalty killing unit in Baco. He's putting up points. He's trusted in a bunch of different situations. And this fixation that you have on the third line center position, it's interesting that they have someone in the organization who is trending towards like being a potential guy to work on filling that role, right? That's the type of game that he plays. He's got some size, and I'm not saying he's ready to do it right now, but the greater point here, Struds, is the organization can call up multiple players in multiple different roles, and they're young. Like these are younger guys. They're not 27, 28, 30-year-olds they're calling up from the minors.
Right, and I think that's the goal, and I've said this 100 times probably this year. Stan's trying to, retool, on the fly here and get some younger players that can be here for a while. I think your point's really well made. So the challenge is that, asking a guy like that to come in and be a major player on a third line feels like a bit optimistic, especially when Savoy's on there already. I think it's a tad optimistic, but I do want to see more. So where can he be in a year and a half? I'm not sure, but for this playoff run, I don't know that he's the guy. So, can you wait that long? You always want to wait for prospects if they develop. And I could see him being that guy potentially for at least a fourth line center, which would be great instead of having to go out and sign one like that. But that third line still looking for something.
Well, they're looking to add a player so that they're not one injury away from Szymanski being in their playoff lineup, right? That's the thing. They need one more forward to give them a little bit of veteran insulation, and not that he's got a chance to get there one day, and it was a good start for him tonight. I'm just getting home here, Struds. So if you want to grab Relentless and the YouTube poll and even crunch some numbers if you feel like it. I'm not sure what Brownie's timeline is, Zuby, but I'm going to bounce out, and I will check back in a few minutes for takeaways.
All right, Zuby, I got my hands on the wheel, buddy. We'll go right into crunching the numbers because it's brought to you by our good buddies at McDonald's. Had a milkshake from there today. Hey, that hit the spot. $5 McValue meals are here. So no matter what, no matter when you're craving a deal, we've got you covered. Start your morning with options like a sausage McMuffin small meal. Make a midday pit stop for a McDouble small meal or grab a late night recharge with a junior chicken small meal. So many choices, all only $5 plus tax. Availability varies by restaurant.
And,
So let's get those
and just
numbers
bear
up
with
here.
me here, Struddy. It's going to come up. I forgot to flip it. So it's going to come up with
Okay, no
the
problem.
other game, the previous game first, so you
Okay.
can start leading into it. I'll change
All
it
right.
pretty quick here.
Okay, so we're going to get these up, and they're brought to you by our good buddies over at Sports Logic. So these are obviously the ones from the Caps, and it's interesting to reference. See the turnover scoring chances, 11 for the Oilers, Caps 6. This was, just a few short nights ago, so I think it's important to look at it. So now if we look at tonight's, let's start at the bottom. Turnover scoring chances, the Oilers only had 8. The Ducks had 14. And puck management, man, it was not as tight, I don't think, as we've seen in previous games, specifically the one against the Caps. Obviously, the numbers talk that through. High danger scoring chances, Oilers 15, the Ducks 20. So again, the Ducks, they had more scoring chances than the Oilers, and I'm guessing a number of those came in the third period because they really started pushing at that point. Puck in the O-zone, basically the same. 19-20 for the Oilers, 19-40 for the Ducks. So we're not going to get crazy about that. Scoring chance off the rush, though, the Oilers only allowed 11 for the Ducks, and the Oilers had 13. So, overall, you're trying to, piece together what did the game, when I watched the game, what did I see? And when I look at these numbers by our buddies at Sports Logic, what is it? How does it kind of compare? I think puck management was an area of the game, Zuby, that I would be very focused on if I was the team, just to kind of tighten up, because that just, you not only do you take away their chances to score, it also probably contributes to more chances for you because you have the puck more, not chasing it down your own zone as much.
Yeah, although one thing I thought was interesting seeing, especially the turnover numbers. I know you that's one you always really want to see because it tells a story. It's a story of this team at this time. But that I thought the two most notable turnovers were by the Ducks that both led to, in the second period, that both led to goals. So even though that number was skewed, I thought those were the biggest turnovers in the game.
Yeah, the young guy, what is it, Bennett Sinecki? That one at the blue line, that is a tough one. And then who else had one? I think
it was how did they say his name? Paling?
Oh, Ryan. Yeah.
Poling,
that was a tough. That was a weird one. It's like he caught an edge, the puck stopped on his blade, and the Oilers were gone the other way.
Yeah,
you're right. But that's those areas around that blue line are so key. So key. You cannot turn over the puck 2 feet or inside or outside of the blue line. You've got to make sure you get it out there or in. Whatever the case may be. Got a great stream here today, so make sure you're texting your thoughts in as we roll through this show tonight. Let's get to our Relentless Player, brought to you by UCAN Youth Services. The annual Comedy Nights fundraiser presented by ATS is almost here. There are 2 great ways to support youth in our community. Grab tickets or a table for one of these unforgettable comedy nights, or donate an item or experience to the silent auction. Head to UCANcomedy.com and use GYB10 for 10% off your tickets. The best player on the ice tonight, the best player was an Anaheim Duck. Do you want to guess who it was, Zuby?
Well, I noticed. Their guy scored a hat trick too, but I thought Seneca was really eye catching.
Yeah, he was really good, but he was really good. But I'm going obviously with the D-man, Jackson Ekholm. Jackson Ekholm was all over the ice tonight. He was physical. He was making plays. He skates well. I was on this guy. I think it was last year. I did a segment about Jackson Ekholm, or maybe it was 2 years ago. I've been on this guy for a while, and I bet you, Lane Hutson's so much better. He's a really good player, but so is Jackson Ekholm. Both can be good players. Jackson's big. He's strong. He skates well. He is a really, really, really good player. He is going to be a thorn in the Oilers side for the next 10 years, maybe longer.
Yeah, I think his addition to the U.S. team was like also who went out. If it was Quinn Hughes that went out, then maybe you're adding Lane Hutson to fill that role. But Yeah, I agree. Jackson Lacombe. Yeah, you're right. He really stood out tonight in many different ways as well. It wasn't not a one-dimensional game at all.
He was not at all. He runs their, so just to give you a sense, he's on their power play. He plays all the time, 5-on-5, like all the time. He was 26 minutes tonight. The next closest guy was a forward, the young Beckett. He was really good. But Jackson Lacombe, I'm telling you, people, he is a stud number one defenseman, and they don't grow on trees.
And he kind of came out of nowhere because I even remember because I added him as a waiver add to my fantasy team last year about halfway through the season. I'm like, I never even heard of this guy. And he took off, kept it going all last season, and he's still got 30-some points this year. He's no offensive slouch at all.
No. Yeah, he's not Late Hunson offensively. He doesn't have 45, 50 points, but he is going to be a 50, 60-point defenseman, 60, 50, 60, somewhere in there.
That's pretty okay.
It's really good, and he is good. He's a good D-man. Still learning to defend, but he's really good. All right, before we go to break, let's get to our YouTube poll brought to you by DeBoer's Golf Shop and Fitting Center. They have an all-new 2026 equipment in their fitting carts, ready to go. Beat the spring rush and get fit today in their state-of-art TrackMan facility with the best club fitters in Canada. Fitting is always free when you purchase your clubs at DeBoer's. Visit deboersgolf.com or call the shop to book your fitting. They're just waiting to get you in there. So Zuby, what do you got for us, buddy?
All right, just talking about some of these performances we've seen from Oilers in the past few days and weeks here, and whether or not any of them should have been on their respective Olympic teams. So a purely opinion question here, of course, which Edmonton Oilers should have been named to their respective Olympic hockey team. We got hat-trick man tonight, Mattias Ekholm. We got hat-trick man Saturday night, Evan Bouchard. We got Nuge. I'm surprised because Nuge, with the chemistry with McDavid and also the penalty killing, I'm surprised Nuge is as low in the voting as he is right now. But we got Nuge, and we got Zach Hyman, of course, on an incredible run of goal scoring here since December, since his return and finding his legs, and also great chemistry with McDavid as well. So where would you go on that, Struddy?
Yeah, I'd go Zach Hyman. You guys know how I feel about Bouch, but I think with Zach Hyman, it's instant chemistry for he and Connor McDavid. You put those two together with Celebrini, I'll take a look at that. I'll take a chance. If I'm a Canadian fan, I'll take a chance with that. Now, that maybe moves Reinhardt around or whatever, but there's instant. So the chemistry would be between those two, McKinnon and Crosby, and then you'd have on the back end Cale Makar and Taze. So you'd have, probably someone on the ice at all times that is very familiar with the person they're playing with. Chemistry matters in short tournaments. I'm still hopeful that Hyman gets in, but again, I don't hear any of the insiders whispering his name about a possible replacement for any injury. So, man, I hope I'm wrong. I hope all the Oilers that want to get in get in. Well, I'm sure they all want to get in, but the ones with a chance. I just don't see it. I just can't see it right now. But who knows? Maybe Pierre LeBrun's wrong.
It has happened. It's rare, but it has happened.
It's rare. It's really rare. And I love Pierre, but I could use that Chris Johnson, any of those guys, right? Those guys know. That's why they're insiders, right? It's not people that are just guessing. It's actual insiders. So we'll see how it shakes down. All right, Zuby. Should we call it a segment here? Should we?
Yeah, Brownie's ready. Let's get to the break. Okay. We're gonna have Schauger's not back yet, but by the time we're back from the break, probably we'll have a full house here.
If he's not back, maybe we'll do a scoreboard here before we get going. All the games, only 4 games tonight. So quick pause. When we come back, Brownie, Schauger, Zuby, and myself. Stay with us, everybody.
At Modern Measure, every item of clothing starts from scratch and is designed from the ground up, based on both your style preferences and current fashion trends. Their clothing is fully designed to give you the exact look you're looking for, down to the smallest details and customization. The Modern team will work with you to make sure that you not only look and feel great, but make the most of your investment. On the ground floor of Edmonton Tower downtown, Modern Measure. For over 60 years, Belvedere Golf and Country Club has delivered a high-quality membership experience to Edmonton and area. And now it's even better. Drainage and irrigation improvements in 2024 have taken course conditions to a new level. This commitment to long-term sustainability means exceptional playing conditions all season long. Belvedere's tee sheet availability is unmatched, so join now and experience golf the way it was meant to be played, on your schedule. Visit BelvedereGCC.com today.
We're back. We're just getting it all together here, but we do have the full house. Here's Struddy. Take it,
Hey,
Struddy.
guys.
We got Brownie on the phone, and I'll get Shogger in here right away.
All right. Welcome back, everybody. I hope you're having a great evening. The Oilers pull out a win. Mattias Ekholm has a hat trick. If you're just joining us, it was a pretty good night by the D. So let's get to takeaways now, brought to you by Chandos Construction. Chandos is 100% employee owned. That means that people planning and building the project share in the success. It's how they've stayed strong for over 45 years. If you want to be a part of it, apply now at chandos.com/apply. Brownie, welcome to the show, buddy. Energy at the building. I mean, when D-Man are carrying the whole team on their back, people must be pretty excited in the building.
Well, they are. Well, and what's amazing is it's a 5-goal night by the D-Man, and none of the goals were by Evan Bouchard. So what I loved about it, though, what I loved about the D-Man that's scoring was the assertiveness. Darnell Nurse breaks up a play at his own blue line, goes down. It's a 3-on-1. But he's in a good place to shoot. He shoots, scores. Mattias Ekholm breaks up a play at the blue line. He comes down. He's got a 2-on-1 with Matty Savoy, but he's in a good place to shoot. He shoots. Even the one by Stasny, he's throwing the puck towards the net. So I like the assertiveness. Don't pass up plays. I mean, we are quite critical, especially you, of Mattias Ekholm on the 4-on-1 a couple games ago. Too much time to think, and eventually bobbles it and falls behind the net. Tonight, from center ice, he knew he was shooting that puck on the one goal that he scored. The other one, he drives the net and a deflection. I love the assertiveness. And even Strud's on his empty net goal. There was no hesitation. So Mattias Ekholm, incredibly assertive with the puck tonight, putting it on net. Good for him for his first ever NHL hat trick.
Did I hear on my way into the house, Struds? I kind of keep you on my phone. I can sort of listen. 3 goals from Mattias Ekholm tonight. Did he not get relentless player?
No. The best player on the ice was Jackson Lacombe. I thought he was fantastic.
So good.
I agree, Strud. How good is that Lacombe? Like he is a superstar in the making. I can't believe he was left off the original Team USA Olympic team. Like he was so good. Physical, fast. Yeah, that kid is an amazing hockey player.
I've been beating that drum for a while now. I can't remember, it was last year or 2 years ago, I did a segment on him to player to watch. And he's taken another step. He's taken another step there. I'm not sure that, he has the right partner just right now, but they'll find it for him. But he's a stud, man.
And heavy, like plays reasonably heavy, Struds, like not afraid to bounce some guys off pucks and use his body, Great
Well, he
skater.
tossed, near the end of the game, at the center, he just tossed Janmark aside with a hit. And then Janmark was mad. I get it. He got back up and chased him down and tried to push him. It was like a baby pushing a grizzly bear. It's just like, yeah, you're still there. Like, he didn't even flinch. Like, he's a big guy and he skates really well. Like, he gets around really smoothly, smart, runs their power play. Like I remember saying last year, what was Zellweger? I mean, he's got to get a chance to run the power play. With that guy there, he's not getting a chance to run any power play with Lacombe there.
Well,
Yeah,
he also nailed Hyman behind the net, like absolutely drilled Hyman, which is not easy to do. And it was also Lacombe that knocked McDavid flying into the boards on the first partial breakaway before the penalty shot. Yeah, Lacombe, I love the fact that he's not afraid to go after anybody, and he's physical. He is going to be a very good player in this league for a long, long time.
So Lacombe does get the nod for Team USA. Evan Bouchard, Mattias Ekholm, both players that were left off their respective countries' Olympic rosters, and both in the closing games here before the Olympic break, kind of planting a flag, so to speak, and certainly making a good case for themselves. You know, I think Bouchard has probably worked his way into that conversation where if there is an injury, if there's something that happens, it feels to me like maybe he's closer than he might have been before. And Ekholm, like Sweden's had all kinds of injury troubles up front, but a little bit on the blue line here and there too. So Brownie, I think, good for these guys for kind of leaving it all out there and making a statement late here.
Well, a few things. First of all, if you go and don't get picked, you don't want to have to look in the mirror and say it's my fault. You say, you know what? If I would have been a little better here, or if I would have done this, if you want to put everything out there. Here's what I'm capable of doing. If you decide not to take me, fine. I can look myself in the mirror and I can say I did everything possible. And at the end of the day, I wasn't who you were looking for. And I think Ekholm and Bouchard and Zach Hyman up front, all three of them can say, I did what I was supposed to do. It's on you guys to make the decision. And I honestly think that Ekholm has a better chance of making the Olympic team than Bouchard, simply because, as you said, there's a bunch of injuries for Team Sweden. So there's the big reason why Ekholm might be there, and I hope he does go there. I know a lot of people, Struds, are talking, it's better that they get their rest. I disagree. I think there's so much more positive about a player going to the Olympics, being around superstars, being involved in those big moments. I think if Bouchard gets a chance, or Hyman or Ekholm, I think that is better than rest, being able to go and mingle with the best in the world at such an incredible event.
I'd agree with you, except for on Ekholm. Like, if I'm truly if I was the Oilers GM, I want all my players to go, but if he doesn't go, I'd be upset for him, but not upset for the team. Just because he's a little bit older, right? The other, Bouchard and Hyman, for sure. No, I totally get what you're saying.
Yeah, well, they've felt it. They've felt the sting of what happens when, an older defenseman plays in one of those extracurricular events, and it can really have an impact on what he's able to do, what your team's able to do. Like a completely healthy Mattias Ekholm at the start of the playoffs last year, I don't know what it ends up looking like, but he was a shadow of himself by the time he came back. You want it so badly for the person because it'd be great for him to have the opportunity to go do that, but in the case of him, I'm a little bit more with Struds, Brownie, in that, like, it really is better for the Oil for that guy to just be able to stay in the zone he's in right now. He's really in a nice zone.
It doesn't matter. This is bigger than the Oilers. It doesn't matter. This is a chance for him to play for his country at the Olympics. I hope he gets to go. You know what? The Oilers, great. If he doesn't good, he gets his rest. But I disagree. 1,000%. I'm doing a Donald Trump. 1,000%. Ekholm, if he gets that option, it's better for him. The Oilers, to me, country comes first.
Yep. Fair point. I mean, I think we all agree to a degree on that. And it would be pretty amazing for him if he did get a chance to go. Okay, Brownie, I know you got Brownie Points coming up here. So actually, you know what, Brownie? Let's just get that done right now, because I often find when you join us late, Brownie Points gives you an opportunity to give us a little bit of a overview of what you thought of the game. So, Zuby, we got that new intro still? I got to time out properly?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you work in radio ever? It's all just the lead into the whatever it's called on that.
All right. Anybody that wasn't around last show, it was a treat. We got a new intro for Brownie Points. Go ahead and roll it, Zuby. It is time for Brownie Points. As always, it is brought to you by the Alberta Ram Dealers. Get 10 years of built-in confidence at your Alberta Ram dealer with Canada's best full-size truck, limited powertrain warranty. Pause.
You could go over the first part.
Every new 2026 Ram truck comes with a 10-year, 160,000-kilometer warranty. Make sure you check it out at your Ram dealer today. Just a great looking vehicle.
All right. All right, Brownie, what do you got tonight, buddy?
Well, I'm going to start with 3 brownie points to the Viking Mattias Ekholm for his first career hat trick with a 200-foot shot right into the middle of an open net. Made absolutely no mistake on the long-distance bomb and ended the night with 3 goals, +3, and first star. And we talked about with Strud, I loved his assertiveness on his all 3 goals. There was an assertiveness about his game, good for him. I got 1 huge brownie point to the young German, Josh Szymanski, who played his first ever NHL game tonight. Good on the fact that his father and brothers flew all the way from Germany for this game. We didn't get to see a lot of him, and he only played 7 minutes and 43 seconds, but he looked comfortable, was +2, nearly scored his first ever goal before it was pulled off the line by Jackson Lacombe. The one thing I would like to see from Chris Knobloch with Szymanski, I'd like to see him penalty kill. The problem with the Oilers' bottom 6, if you're not on the penalty kill, you don't get ice time. I'd love to see more of Szymanski, and I think give him an opportunity on the penalty kill, see if he's the answer for the number 3 center. I don't think we saw enough tonight. I got -9 brownie points to the Oilers' last 2 hockey games. The positive is the Oilers won both games, but they gave up 9 goals in both of those games combined and were badly outplayed tonight in the third period, getting outshot 16-5. There's good about the Oilers' victory, but there's some things that they need to fix if they want to be a legitimate Stanley Cup contender. Defensively, that was a mess at times. I got 2 brownie points to the NHL schedule maker, who gifted the Oilers 4 straight games against teams playing on the second of back-to-back games in Edmonton. Everybody thinks the advantage of playing a team in Game 2 is that these teams will be tired. That is not the case. These players are in good shape. They're not tired. Anaheim played. They outshot the Oilers 16-5 in the third. The big advantage, though, playing a team in the back-to-back game, is you get their backup goaltender. The Oilers have scored 11 goals in these last 2 games against backup goaltenders and have needed every one of them. Do they beat the Capitals 6-5 in overtime against Logan Thompson? I don't think so. And tonight, the Anaheim Ducks' Willy was not very good either. So, schedule maker, big bonus to the Edmonton Oilers. And finally, I've got 44 brownie points for a shameless self-promotion. My buddies and I run a 3-on-3 spring hockey camp. This is our 10th year. It's 30 minutes of skill development and a 30-minute 3-on-3 full ice game. If interested, it runs April all the way through June once a week. You can go online at Excel, E-X-C-E-L, hockeycamp.ca. And those, my friends, including my selfish plug, are tonight's brownie points.
Doing this again, Zuby? It's good timing.
No,
You want to let the joke play again?
Oh,
let
sure.
the joke play again? All right, there you go. That is Brownie Points, brought to you by the Alberta Ram dealer. That's awesome, Brownie. That's a good opportunity for some folks to come out and learn from one of the brightest offensive minds on this podcast.
It's tons of fun. Yeah, no, this is our 10th year. It's fun because it's full ice 3-on-3. Everyone touches the puck, and you will play with and against kids of the exact same skill set of yourself. So, yeah, it'll
Nice.
sell out. It sells out every year. So get in if you're interested. And now, let's go back to the Szymanski thing. I think you need to see him penalty killing. If you want to see if he's legitimate at this level, he has to penalty kill. You do not have enough minutes 5-on-5 as a third-line center to see what he's capable of doing.
Struds, would
Yeah,
you have used? I don't know. I don't know if you're doing that in your first game. I don't know. What do you think, Strud?
Yeah, I mean, I hear you, Brownie. I mean, I guess, yeah, I think the score would have to be a bit of a runaway to get him in there, to give him a
Why?
chance.
Why? He kills in
Well-
the minors. He kills in the minors. That's what he's here for. I mean, if
there's-
you're going to find out what you need at the deadline, why wait? Put him in the penalty kill.
But do you think he's actually going to play in the playoffs for the Oilers this year?
I don't know. Do you know what you need at the deadline? I mean, what are you going to
Nah.
get? What do you have available?
Oh, I do. I know what we need. I know what the team needs. That's for sure. They need a third line, but I just don't see. I don't know that Szymanski can be that guy right now. Like, there's other guys I think who could kill penalties now on the team, and they're not doing it. They're actually on the team. So I just don't know, who's the guy, right? Who's gonna take him out to put him in there?
Well,
I would
McDavid.
say you want to take McDavid. I don't know, man. I don't think you can take McDavid off the penalty kill. I think he's really, really good on there. And I think that the number of times they make something happen in the other direction, I think the other team is nervous when he's out there. I think the numbers when McDavid is out there penalty killing are really strong too. So I'm not sure, Brownie. Are you just worried about the minutes? Because I think his results have been really good.
Well, every best player in the world on their team can penalty kill. Marner, Eichel, go around the National Hockey League. They're all going to be the best penalty killers. They're the best players, or the smartest players. But you were worried the other day that he was going to be tired because he plays too many minutes. If he's not going to play, if he's going to take minutes away, I'd rather take the PK minutes away as opposed to the 5-on-5 minutes or the power play minutes. I look at his 5-on-5 numbers in power play. That's where he's getting his points. He's not getting a whole lot of points penalty killing. So if you're going to subtract minutes from his game, that's where you got to do it.
Yeah. I couldn't agree more with you, Brownie. I totally agree about that. How do you like, Kapanen's barely getting any penalty kill minutes, although it was his first game back tonight. There's others, I'd still think Trent Frederick killed penalties in Boston. Could that get him going if you got on there? Like, there's other guys that are on the team I think could use those minutes before Szymanski.
I agree, but Captain plays top 6 minutes, so he's already going to get his ice time. I'm just saying, if whoever the third line center is for this Oiler team has to penalty kill.
Oh, yeah.
Or he's a waste. Yeah. He's a waste. So that's why I'm saying give this guy a chance. There's 4 games between now and the Olympic break. See if he can penalty kill at this level. Maybe he's able to. He's a big, strong, fast kid. Penalty kills in the minors. He wins face-offs. Find out what you have in him, because then that may help you at the trade deadline, what you're trying to find. The Oilers, if you don't penalty kill in your bottom 6, you don't get ice time at all. And Trent Frederick is a great example. Mangiapane, great example. When their lineup, they even if they play on the third line, they're getting 7 minutes a night. So to me, they've got to find someone that can kill. That's why I would give this kid a chance, just to see if he's capable of doing it.
And maybe fits in with the theme. Like, you call these players up, they have very specific roles in the American Hockey League. And I know when you get to the NHL, you got to be versatile and you got to do the best you can with whatever minutes they can get you. But you had a top 6 forward called up that never got a sniff playing in the top 6 here with the higher end skilled guys. And then Szymanski put in a spot to succeed, though, tonight, I would say, in terms of on the wing, play it safe, something like that. I liked where they put him. Fair point on the kill. Yep.
But he played 7.5 minutes, though. Like, that's all he got. So you put him on the third line, but big deal. He got 7.5 minutes. Like, if you're bringing guys up from the minors, that's their opportunity. And I thought he looked fine in his 7.5 minutes. But, I mean, give him a look. Give him a chance.
They also ran into penalty trouble. Well, they got power plays. There was like a run of a couple power plays and a couple kills that took the line flow right out of it. And Knobloch, that's when he threw him the bone of putting him out there with Draisaitl. Because they had the Roslovic come out after a power play and the lines were all thrown off. So in the middle frame, it kind of all got tossed out. And then, obviously later in the game, there wasn't a lot of opportunity there. Good start for him, though. I think we would all agree we would all like to see some more from this player. Let's get to our core adjustments brought to you by HSE Core Services. Need a safety program? They will build it. If you need it managed, they can do that too. If you're stuck dealing with those online safety registries your clients make you sign up for, they will handle those. And yes, they can also do core audits. And right now, sign up for health and safety program management services, and you will receive your first month free. If you own a business, you know what I'm talking about here. Visit www.hsecor.com. Zuby, the sound that we have remaining here is a little bit on the defensive side of things.
It is, yeah. We have Leon and Nuge both on that, and I forget, we had Coach on the penalties, and what was the other? But we definitely
just
have
go
Leon
ahead
and
with
Nuge.
Go ahead with Leon and Nuge, because Brownie, Struds and I were talking a little bit about needing to dial in the defensive side of the game here, and the Oilers are going to have to make some core adjustments. But back to the Weiss Johnson soundbox on that topic.
Certainly not the way that we want to, have that mindset each and every night. But, you got to win in different ways every night. And sometimes it's 2 games in a row of high scoring and, finding a way to score more than the other team. That's just the way this league works at times. And but like Ryan or whoever it was, like he said, certainly not the standard or the mindset that we want to have each and every night.
I had to have that in there of him name checking you, Shugger, on the question, I think.
It wasn't me, though.
Oh, wasn't it?
No, he wasn't talking about me. He was talking about Nugent Hopkins, and now here's Nugent Hopkins clip on the same thing.
I thought first 2 periods we were hard to play against, and because of that we were getting lots of offensive looks, and then we just kind of stepped back in the third. But obviously if we're going to have success down the road, it's going to be from the defensive side out, and we know that. We've gone through it the past few years, and we definitely understand in here that's going to be the difference for us, and we want to keep taking strides and keep improving on that aspect.
Okay, there you have it. A couple of defensive metrics. We'll check in here. 25th in the league in inner slot shots against, 27th in rush chances against, 27th in forecheck chances against. I think they're 15 goals against in their last 3 games played. Then as far as overall goals against, 175 goals against, in their 54 games here. Brownie, they're a middling team results-wise, and defensively they're below average.
Well, yeah, you think about it. They gave up, was it 6 against Pittsburgh? Then they give up 5 against the Washington team that is not a good offensive team. And they give up 4 tonight against the Anaheim team that was missing their top 3 players. And in the third period, they couldn't get out of their zone. And this was a team that they were missing their best players out of the lineup. So they're not good defensively right now. And going to watch the video tomorrow will be easier because you got the 2 points. And you have Connor and Leon, and that masks a lot of off nights defensively. But in the playoffs against Vegas or Colorado or Dallas or these teams, those are good teams. And on the other side of Tampa or of Florida, they will take advantage of your big mistakes. And they're not going to allow you to score 7 goals or 6 goals or whatever you need. So there were positives that they got 2 points and the Ekholm night and the defense scoring. But at times it was a tire fire defensively. We're giving up grade A scoring chances. Tristan Jarry gave up 4. This is the problem, too. Their goaltender gives up 4, yet made a number of big saves and was called out by their coach for how well he played in the third period. So when your goalie gives up 4, yet he had a good night, that means defensively, Struds, you were giving up way too many grade A scoring chances against.
I fully expect. I remember saying in December that in November they'll figure it out in December and kind of get their defensive game back. And there was some time there, and they have moved up. Like they've played more games than any team in the NHL at 54 games. I can't believe we're already through 54 games. By the way,
crazy.
But they are, they've moved up as far as goals against per game because they had a pretty good run there. But lately it hasn't been good. So I'm like, when is it going to kind of, to use Schauger's words, like click in for them? I like I said, I thought it'd be December. We saw some. Now we're January, where we can see the calendar turn coming to February right away. Then we have the All-Star or the Olympic break. So maybe it's post-Olympic break, guys, because the core of this group knows how to defend better. And if you go look back at some of the goals tonight, it was the core that was at times struggling, whether it was on the penalty kill or some other decisions. So they set the tone. There's not a team on the planet where the fourth liner sets the tone for the $12 million player, right? Or that top guy. So they run the team. And that's like that in every team. It's not just the Oilers. So I look forward to seeing when they do get it and just say, this is how we play defensively every night.
All right. That was our HSE Core Services core adjustments. We have a great number on the stream tonight. Thank you so much to everybody that's tuning in live. And if you're watching after the fact, thank you. If you're listening in podcast form, we appreciate you as well. Love our audience here on Got Your Back. So much fun. We got Ask Us Anything coming up a little bit later on. So if you're on the live stream right now, any questions that you have for us, make sure you fire those in. When we come back, we're going to take a lap. Couple things, Brownie. I want to hold you for this segment if that's okay, because I want your opinion on a couple of things that we've seen lately. And then Struddy's World. Ask Us Anything. Lots still ahead here on the show, presented by Timber Haas Developments. We will be right back.
Why would you? Nobody puts in wood windows or siding anymore, so why put in wood fences? Maintenance-free vinyl fence from DLR is backed by a lifetime warranty and will save you time. Weekends are for playing, not painting. Go vinyl at dlrvinylproducts.ca.
Choosing to buy a home is one of the biggest financial and personal decisions you'll ever make. It's a decision that requires strategic planning, market expertise, and a trusted advisor to guide the way. The team at Body Realty with Royal LePage AR team combines deep market knowledge, forward-thinking guidance, and exceptional dedication to make the process effortless and stress-free. Where every client is treated like the only client, visit BaddyRealty.com, a real estate group like no other.
Welcome back to the show. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins on the stream here says, someone give our management Brownie's number. I swear he's always right. Come on now, Ryan. No need that head getting any more swollen than it already is on this show. Back with a little death metal interlude here on Gotcha. Yeah, a little bit of a faux pas there. Time for taking a lap, shall we? Yeah, Freuds and slips. Brought to you by Riverside Motorsports. Riverside Motorsports, your multi-brand motorsports dealer serving Edmonton for over 55 years, offering a wide selection of new and pre-owned motorcycles, ATVs, side-by-sides, snow bikes, e-bikes, and snowmobiles from industry-leading brands. Check them out online, www.riversidemotorsports.com. Struddy, let's take some laps.
Well, we'll start in Toronto, where every lap starts, it feels like, according to them. And their star forward, Willy Nylander, fined $5,000 for tossing the bird during his team's 4-1 loss to the Colorado on Sunday evening. So the camera panned to him. He was sitting there with some of his teammates, and he just, dropped the middle finger at the camera. At George Perrell's fined him $5,000, which that's a pretty expensive middle finger. But he talked about it. He said, he apologized on social media. Then after yesterday, he kind of talked about, he said, I want to apologize for my actions. It's kind of out of frustration. I'm sorry about that. What were you frustrated about? He said, I'm just frustrated about not playing. I want to be out there, the guys. And I tell you, whenever I feel frustrated, I just throw the bird at people. God, I'm mad. I'm going to throw the bird at someone here. That has
Tens of
nothing to do
thousands
with
at a
what's
time.
going on. So it feels, that's a fairly interesting excuse. But Brownie, I don't know if I believe that excuse, but he made a mistake. What do you want him to say?
He made a mistake. I'm guessing he was trying to be funny. I'm guessing because he was looking at the camera. He knew what he was doing. I think he was trying to be funny. I mean, I thought it was actually worse the outfit he wore about 2 weeks ago, where he wore a white muscle shirt, undershirt to a game, sitting in the press box. So just odd. To me, though, it just magnifies when things are going wrong, and they're going way wrong in Toronto. They're on the outside of the playoffs right now. And then that's just another thing for the negativity towards your team. So you don't want to keep drawing bad attention to your hockey club when you're already on the outside of a playoff spot and the expectation of being met. So it was dumb. It was just plain. You can't say anything other than it was dumb.
Yeah, I don't see it so much trying to be funny as maybe trying to be cheeky, I would say. And I'm glad the NHL fined him. They fined guys in the past for that. I know there was one the other day, or recently here with Sergachev, where he didn't get fined. So maybe a bit of inconsistency there. I'm fine with the fact that they find him. I think that's good. It needs to be done. There's still kids watching these games. I think you got to send that signal. With that said, I just don't care. Like, whatever. It was a moment. It was goofy. He apologized. Whatever. We all move on. It's just things just burn so white hot there, Struds. And Austin Matthews coming under fire, right? Refusing to do media in and around that Mitch Marner return and not talking at least once or twice in and around that timeline. So just some leadership questions are running amok out there in Toronto.
I've talked about before with Ottawa Senators. It's just noise. It's just noise around your team, and it gets noisy. And you just want to play, and so all these little things that on their own, maybe it doesn't seem like a big deal, but you just pile them on, and it just makes it noisy. And it's already a very noisy market. I mean, that thing is insane.
Shane Matheson says, so fine for a finger, but cross-check into the boards from behind, good to go, says Shane Matheson. We're feeling you on that one, Shane. What else, Struddy?
The New York Rangers, they typed up another letter. They like writing letters to their fans as much as the Leafs love having press conferences. And they're going to retool or change their group. Indicated they're not going to re-sign Panarin, and he's going to be moved. So they moved their first trade of so far, the new kind of start. Carson Soucy got traded from there to Downers for a third rounder. He's at last year of a deal, kind of big guy, pretty good mobility. I don't think he was ever his best in New York. I think he was better at times in Seattle, and didn't love him in Vancouver. But I think there's a player there, and they're going to try to just, do what he can for the Islanders, who are fighting for his playoff spot, just like everybody else, it seems like.
I honestly can't believe that Drury's keeping his job in all of this. I mean, Drury is the one that started all these problems. Like, this was a team that was a Stanley Cup contender for a number of years. They win the President's Trophy. And then I think wasn't it Barclay Goodrow he got rid of first and was quite negative about him. And then Trouba, who was their captain. And he just kept dismantling, guys that were a big part of their core. Yeah, Chris Kreider, and getting rid of these players. And now their team is a shell of itself, and now they're retooling, and Panarin's leaving. I honestly can't believe that Drury is keeping his job, because it's all of his moves that have put the Rangers in the spot there. They've got one of, if not the best goalie in the world. Like, he's a top 3 goalie. Shesterkin, so to me, this is the one that should be moved on from is Chris Drury. That's the letter that should be written.
Well, and the thing that I think about, like, retool after retool, rebuild after rebuild. It's been a while since they've had some success, and a manager that just seems really, really ingrained there, like just stuck there, like he's not going anywhere. That reminds me of Buffalo. And I know the teams are different and the circumstances are different, but a change at the management position, and it's just like this insane 180 for the Buffalo Sabres. I'm not suggesting it would be that way for New York. They got some work to do there. But just sometimes, I don't know, owners and certain managers, they get stuck, and people get fired for a reason. So I'm with you on that one, Brownie. Struds, did you play with him? Sorry for putting you in a bad spot.
Yeah, Drew. Yeah, I did. I sure did. For a couple of years in New York there, and actually it was all July 1 first big signings. Myself, Scott Gomez, and Jason Strudwick. So some good memories there. You know what? He's a real competitive guy, and everything he's ever touched, he's won. Every single thing. He was a great baseball player, won the Little League World Series, won Stanley Cups. Like, he's just been such a winner everywhere. And he does have a presence about him. Like, he's good about all those things, and just finding the right combination of players and the touch. I think he's very direct, and I'm not sure that affects the players, but I'll be interested to see what this next stretch right now till July 15th, guys. What does that look like? What was that, 6 months? Pretty big stretch, I think, for him and his team. And lastly, according to Rick Dollywall out of Vancouver, and this is his tweet, Evander Kane's agent Dan Milstein has been given permission to help facilitate a trade for his client. So it sounds like, I'm not really surprised. I think this was probably always the plan with the Canucks. Dallas Stars, I would trade for him tomorrow if I was the Dallas Stars. They need some grit in that lineup. The Oilers ran him over last year. Absolutely ran him over. So that would be my desire if I was the Dallas Stars, boys.
I wouldn't want him on my team. I mean, I think that tweet is like saying tomorrow the sun is going to come up. I mean, everyone on the Vancouver Canucks is available, including Elias Pettersson. So not a surprise he's available, but I wouldn't want Evander Kane on my team.
Well, I think a lot of times that kind of means like we've been trying to trade him and we can't. So, if you think you can do a better job, go ahead. You know what I mean? I think sometimes that's kind of when you hear that the agent's been given permission, it's like the team kind of going, yeah, sure. You think you can get it done, go ahead, green light it, see if you can find something different. The Dallas Stars are also being mentioned as sort of like outside dark horses for Panarin, aren't they, Struds? Isn't there? I've heard a little bit of chatter in and around there. Like, I think you're keeping your powder dry if you think there's any sniff you can have a chance at that guy.
Yeah, do they not have that guy? Johnson, Jason Robertson, they've got a lot of talent there. But did they not get pushed around by the Oilers last time? Five games straight. So how does that change? I think they probably need another D-man. I'd probably be going for another D-man before I'm going for the bread man. And I like the bread man. He's a great player. But you already got a lot of bread. You need some nuts and bolts to go along with that on your back end. So I
don't know. I take Panarin on my team. The Oilers have a lot of bread on their team too. I'd still take Panarin on my team. He is that good a hockey player. Panarin's top. He's top 7 in the world. Yes, I'd take Panarin on my team. Let's play Panarin with Leon Draisaitl. See how that works out.
Right. Yeah, but you're changing the conversation. Let's look at this depth chart of Dallas. They've got a good team. So Mikko Rantanen, Rupe Hintz, Robertson, right? Taking anyone off that top line? I don't know.
Yeah, you can move one down and put Panarin there. Yes. If I'm the Dallas Stars and you can get Panarin, absolutely I'm taking Panarin. 100%. He's a superstar.
So let me ask you this. Who is the fourth D-man on that team? Lundqvist?
No, they need a defenseman too.
Bianco,
they need a defenseman. You're right.
You can't do both.
They need a defenseman.
You cannot do both. You can't do both. Who are you going to trade out of it? Now,
That's
it depends
kind of a mean thing to say.
Tyler Seguin, I suppose, maybe, if he doesn't come back. But I'm telling you, they need a D-man. Like, if they want to be legit contenders, they needed a legit top 4 defenseman and some balls on that top 12. I'm telling you right now. Panarin's a great player, but I'd love it. If I was the rest of the conference, they trade for Panarin, I'm like, thank God. That's good. That's a good sign because we're going to run their D over, just like they got run over last year.
All right. That was Struddy's world. Oh, no, wait a minute. We still have to get to that. A passionate Jason Strudwick wrapping up our Taking a Lap segment, brought to you by Riverside Moto Sports. All right. Time for more Jason Strudwick. Why would you? Why wouldn't you? Struddy's world coming up here. Roll it, Zuby.
When you make a mistake, heads should roll. It's not right. And I'm here. Someone has to put their foot down. Now that I say it out loud, it does sound a little crazy. Gotta look good.
Time out for Struddy's World, brought to you by DLR Vinyl Products, Alberta's leading supplier of vinyl products, offering premium fence and deck materials designed to stand the test of time. Whether you're looking for a professional contractor or planning to tackle the project yourself, they have the resources and expertise to help. Canadian owned and operated with locations in Calgary and Edmonton. That is the company my dad started. It's the companies that my brothers Rick and Rob run very proudly. Check them out online, dlrvinylproducts.ca. Struds.
One of the first times I went to New York, I saw for the first time someone playing 3-card Monty live. If you haven't seen that, they have 3 cards and they shuffle them around. You have to guess which one is whatever the card. Let's say King of Hearts, whatever. And I swear to God, I'd watch that time and time. I'd put my money down and play against this guy. My buddy was with me. We both did it. We were there for like an hour. I don't think I got it more than once or twice. I was like, what the hell is going on? kept watching. Finally, I realized that he was kind of showing me one thing and doing something else. That's what's happening with the Oilers right now offensively. So, last game was Bouchard and McDavid. Tonight, it was the D-men leading the charge. We're masking the issue of what's going on this bottom six. There's not a lot going on. Even as far as some physicality, there's a bit of penalty kill, a bit of ozone time, but it's just not there. It's not even close enough to where it needs to be. I know I've beat this drum before, but it kind of gets quiet when the Oilers are winning, and there's big stories around the 3-card Monty cards being chucked around. So, guys, I don't think we can overlook what this means. It's great that the D-men are scoring. They're outscoring the forwards in the bottom six. It's great that Bouchard had that game he did, and that's fun to watch, but it's a problem. So I think this really has to be looked at, and that's maybe part of the reason Brownie said about bringing up Szymanski. Find out if he can help. What can he do? Because what they currently are doing and or playing them this little and or the group they're playing, it's not fitting together and getting much done.
I mean, it's a good point, Strud, and that's why I said the other night's game against Capitals was an exciting game, but it wasn't a good game for the Oilers. It was a good game for Connor and Bouchard. The rest of the team were spectators watching the game. The best team in the NHL right now is the Colorado Avalanche, and that's simply, just look at their record. It's simple to say they're the best team. I watch their stats every night after their games. The other night they beat Toronto. I think that was a 4-1 game. The only point McKinnon had was 1 assist. There are a number of games that the Colorado Avalanche win, and at the end of the night, McKinnon or Makar weren't a big part of the victory. They'll have a Jack Drury night. They'll have a Parker Kelly night. They'll have Nikushkin. They'll have Brock Nelson. All of these players will contribute. And that right now is the difference between the elite of the National Hockey League, which is the Colorado Avalanche, and your Oilers team. The Oilers rarely will win a game without Connor or Leon being a big part of it. Colorado Avalanche will win without McKinnon. And I think if the Oilers want to get to where they were in the playoffs, other players scored big goals the last 2 playoff runs for the Edmonton Oilers. If you think about even Klim Kostin a couple of years ago, Yamamoto, like they've had guys score big moments. Right now, I'm not seeing the bottom six, anybody like contributing, not even on an accidental level. So I think what you're saying there, Struds, is yes. Right now, the play of the Oilers superstars is a Band-Aid over the rest of the team, the bottom six. And that is something that as we get further into the playoffs, when you play only the best teams with the best defense, with the best goalies, you need other players to contribute. And right now, we're not seeing that in the bottom six.
Well, I'll maybe just say the quiet thing out loud here, and I don't know, people on the stream may not like it, or I don't know if you guys agree or disagree, but it just might be as simple as this is not that strong an Oiler team comparatively. Like, I would suggest this is probably the weakest Oiler team in the last 4 years. Of all the teams, and I'm talking about the one that lost in the second round of Vegas too. Like, this team that the Oilers currently have, that the way it's currently constructed, what they are, make an argument they're the weakest team they've had in any of the last 4 years. Struds.
I would agree. And the reason is they're transitioning, right? They had to get younger. And I guess a bit cheaper, right? And, I think the D is close to where it was before.
No.
No. Let me finish. Without Kulak now, it changes it, right? So that changes it. But I mean, the top four I think is as strong as it's ever been. But Kulak does make a difference for sure. I think the net minding, TBD what it looks like in the playoffs. But up front, the third and fourth lines right now, the fourth, I guess, isn't bad. And I know I keep circling back to the third line. It's there. It's just, it's just not there. There's not much going on there. Or not enough.
Well, okay, let's start on the defense. Last year you had Klingberg, you had Kulak, 2 veteran defensemen. I mean, Klingberg was very good for the Oilers in the playoffs. Right now, Stastny, Emberson, and Regula, not even close to Klingberg and Kulak. Not even close.
Fair, yeah.
If any of the top 4 get hurt, you are in a ton of trouble going forward if one of those 3 have to move up. Goaltending, I think, is probably a little better because you have Ingram. I mean, Tristan Jarry's stats are the exact same as Stuart Skinner's. Exact same. Got about an .880 save percentage with the Oilers. But with Ingram, I think that combination a little stronger. But up front, you've got the same star players, but you're right. The next level isn't close. So I agree. I agree with what you said, Shogger. And I will also agree that all the way back to the Vegas second round knockout, that this team right now isn't as strong as those teams.
Yep. And one player at the deadline isn't going to change that. They're taking a weaker team into the playoffs this year. It's happening. They might be able to supplement themselves a little bit here. And the goaltending can make a difference too, though. If there is an uptick in the goaltending and that keeps going, that can make up for a little bit of maybe what you lost on the blue line, but it's going to be interesting to see. That is a big existential conversation to have on the tail end of a Struddy's world. So maybe you guys, off night pod tomorrow night, that I know you guys are going to be doing, so maybe you can have that bigger conversation tomorrow night. Brownie, you're done, my friend. Thanks for the extra time tonight.
All right, guys, take care.
See you, buddy.
All right. That is Rob Brown. All right, we're late into this break, so let's do it. When we come back, ask us anything. Get your questions into Struds and I. We've got that segment coming up. We'll check the scoreboard as well. This has Got Your Back, presented by Timberhouse Developments.
So at Timberhouse, our guiding philosophy is naturally inspired living. We believe that through design, we can solve problems and enhance people's lives. We follow biophilic design principles in all of our builds to incorporate natural materials, natural light, to enhance all the spaces in a home. When you have your space perfectly reflect who you are and what you value, and it's made well, we think that that just leads to better living.
The new McVeggie, now at McDonald's.
Time to take a look at the scoreboard, brought to you by The Bridge Fit. Whether you're aiming to stay pain-free or hit a new personal best as part of your 2026, the physio, chiropractors, massage therapists, strength coaches at The Bridge are there to help you. Treating the communities of Edmonton, Sherwood Park, Lethbridge, and St. Albert. Check them out or book your first session online at www.thebridge.fit. Light night tonight, Struds.
Yeah, really light. I guess kind of gets going a little bit more heavy tomorrow. 10 games and only 3 on Wednesday. So the Mammoth lose to the Lightning. Darren's Radish gets his 14th goal of the year on the power play. This guy's having a year. 2-0. The Lightning beat the Mammoth. The Rangers find a 4-3 win in overtime. Will Cooley, a youngish player, gets his 12th goal of the year in that one. JT Miller's 14th. And then the mighty Jason Robertson gets it done in overtime. And finally, the Islanders beat the Flyers 4-0. JGPG, as we like to call him, Gabriel Pajot, gets a shorthanded goal early in this one. And then he also gets a later one to make it his 10th of the year 4-0. So there you go. With that win today, the Oilers, they are moving up the standings. Probably not where they probably should be based on this road trip or this home stand they've had and some of the players coming in. But 54 games played, the most in the NHL, 62 points, ties them with Vegas in the Pacific Division at 62. The problem is Vegas has played 3 less games, which I guess could be good, could be bad in this track meet sprint of season, Shogger.
For sure. Yeah, and this Anaheim team getting, as they get healthier too. I'm just taking a look where the Oilers are in points percentage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So 14th in points percentage in the league right now too. So it gives you a bit of an idea overall where they are sitting. Underwhelming, but there is some time for them to finish strong. And they generally finish seasons pretty strong. It'll be interesting to see how strong they finish if the playoff cut line is anywhere near them, if they don't click it into another gear entirely, because we certainly know that the big guys are capable of that. That's our scoreboard. Brought to you by The Bridge, Sports Therapy and Training. Zuby, hop in here. Let's talk some DeBoer's Golf Shop and Fitting Center YouTube poll. Where'd it land?
Yeah, not a huge surprise. Which Edmonton Oilers should have been named to their respective Olympic hockey team? Zach Hyman, the winner at 51% of the total vote. Evan Bouchard, 27%. Mattias Ekholm, 19%. And Nuge, I thought Nuge would... I thought he'd come fourth, but I thought he'd get a little bit more than 3% of the vote. But I understand. Maybe he was second on a lot of ballots tonight, but that's all good.
Of everyone on that list, he was least likely to play on that team, from the outset. I would say, like Hyman, had he been there from the start of the year, maybe he has a chance to work his way in there. Ekholm, if he's not dealing with the injuries, maybe he's same thing. Bouchard, Nuge could play in that tournament. He absolutely could play in that tournament, no question about it. But landslide there for Zach Hyman at 51%. All right, let's get to Ask Us Anything, brought to you by Mortgages by Maria. Powered by Dominion Lending Centers, Maximal Mortgages. With the Bank of Canada lowering rates, it's a great time to look at your mortgage. The thing is, your bank only shows you their offer. Maria will bring you options from a whole bunch of lenders, so you get the deal that works best for you. Don't just roll over for the bank. Connect with her today. mortgagesbymaria.ca. All right, Zoobs, let's blast through some, buddy. What are the people saying?
Okay, well, Neil Garrity said... Wallman was much better tonight, and Brent D said Wallman looks slow and injured, can't skate. so I'll go to you first, Shogger. Which is it?
No, he's not slow. He can skate. Yeah, he's coming around. He's never great coming off injury. He generally takes 10 days, 2 weeks to kind of find it, and we've seen this a number of times from him. So I'm pretty sure Struds that he'll be okay. But some ups and downs, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, he's a good D-man. I think he's going to find his way going through it. I think he and Nurse together is the right combination. And when they get that chemistry going, they're a formidable second pair because they can both be physical. They both move well. They take up quite a space. And Wallman's got that good first pass, and they can both shoot.
Guessing is easy said... about the PK. PK just didn't give up, but they got tired, and Jari could have had one, but leaving the shooter alone and giving them too much time. Also on the PK, Andy Oilers fan says teams are finding flaws in the Oilers PK. No way Granlund should have so much time on his goals. What did you think of the PK, Struddy? Where is it at right now? And obviously it was statistically not great tonight.
No, this is a tough one. They give up 3. And I think Granlund, didn't he have a hat trick on the power play? Which is pretty insane, actually. I don't remember seeing the Oilers allow a player on the flank to have that much time and a direct line to the net to shoot. I don't think this is how they want to kill. I think it was just one of those nights that didn't go well. On the first goal, even, a poor clear. And then Granlund gets it back a little while later, and he's wide open to walk down for the flank. So he was just shooting from the ladies' tees here today, and I don't think that that's probably the best way to kill against any team.
79.3% looks like 17th is. Does that include tonight's game? That's 54, including 54 games. 79.3% they're sitting at. So definitely not where it needs to be, but and not very good tonight.
Okay, let's go a little bit of fan theory stuff. Guessing is easy wants to know. This comes up from time to time. Let's address it for a minute. Is it time to use Nurse on the wing since we don't have a winger? I mean, this has the only guy I can think of in recent memory to me is Dustin Byfuglien, which is crazy when you think about it now, how much a big bruising defenseman would be, so in need. But would they ever consider this, Shogger? He rushes the puck well. He shoots on the rush. Okay.
No question is we're open to any and all suggestions here on Got Your Back. Blue sky all your ideas. Guessing is easy. I will tell you, answering on this one is easy. No. Struds?
There's a better chance I'm in the lineup on Wednesday night than there is of this happening, or Thursday night. There's zero chance this happens. I don't know. It's less than 0.0.
Okay. Let's keep our tinfoil hats on a little bit here for this is interesting. I don't know. You guys might have an opinion on this. Paulie says, any chance 97, 29, probably not 29 because we don't expect him to be in a gold medal game, but who knows? Sit a game or two post Olympics. Last year, McDavid was playing 24 hours after the Four Nations final in Philly, I believe. Is this even a consideration, Struddy, or when we get to Rishaug, are there any rumblings of this as a possibility? Struddy, what would you do?
I remember when Sweden won the Olympics and my goalie at New York, Henrik Lundqvist, went. He was really tired after, like really, really, really tired. Now it was his rookie year. That was a lot going on. He played like a madman for us, played like a madman for Sweden. Like it was a lot. So I saw how tired he was. Now it's true McDavid to come back and played right away. I would think I would give him a day off or two for sure. Just to get your energy back on some level, even just mentally unwind. But I don't know that Connor's wound that way. So I think it's unlikely. Same for, Leon might be a little different because I don't know that Germany will probably play a few less games than Team Canada.
You are an absolute horrendous dresser. Is this guy blind? I hope you have a great day.
Hank Lundqvist. It's been far too long since we have pulled that clip out. I think Connor will want to play. And I don't think he's going to play 24 minutes a night at the Olympics. There's out there really good players. So he'll probably be in that like 18 to 22, 20, that type of thing. Strud. It's not like he'll be playing crazy minutes. So I think he's going to want to play. I, on the other hand, am going to take like a week off when I get back because it's going to be tiring being over there.
We penciled that in.
Jet lag is a long-term chronic condition.
Yes.
Okay, Scotty knows, and a couple of other people brought this up, but we'll give the credit to Scotty knows here. He says, did Szymanski's development make Philp expendable? Kind of similar. There's some similarities in the player there. Anything to that, Rishaug?
No, I wouldn't say that those two things happened at the same time. I think Szymanski's really come on lately. I think they didn't necessarily know as much. Does it soften the blow of losing a depth center who could be available in a call-up scenario if you need it? Yeah, he's a guy that looks like he can give you some games, and that helps. But I don't know that it's paved the way for them to do that.
Yeah, I can't add much to that. I'd say he's on it.
Okay, let's go here. This is a really good comment from our friend Kayla in Dallas, Fort Worth. Hope you're safe out there, Kayla. Big storm. And I didn't want to bring this up while Brownie was here either because I don't want Brownie to tell me I'm wrong in the middle of a sentence. But Kayla said, Brownie is wrong for once. Backup tendies are just as capable as the number one, in my opinion. I think this is they're not the same or they wouldn't be the backup, but this isn't like Martin Brodeur playing 72 games and Craig Billington, or whoever. It's a different era of backups now, isn't it? I mean, I think you can't win without a good second goalie. Am I right, Struddy? Is Kayla right?
Yeah, I think in short bursts, they can have moments. But more often than not, the reason a guy's a starter is because he's done it for longer, extended periods of time, and that's what separates them.
Yeah, I mean, even on teams with good backups, you don't see them go back and forth in the playoffs if they don't have to. Like, they'll ride the starter.
Sure.
So being able to get in there and take the playoff workload and run your team through 4 series and winning a Stanley Cup, playing the majority of the games, I wouldn't say many teams have 2 guys that are capable of that, but both guys during the regular season. On lots of teams, it's close between those two for sure. For sure.
Yeah. I just don't think, I think the Oilers are proof of that. You can't ever look at, they're playing him. We got this. Like that doesn't seem to happen the way it used to. Shane Matheson with an interesting point going back to third line center as it relates more to free agency, but he says, why would a good free agent want to come here to play as a third line center? No ozone, no TV timeout, 3 shifts after a PK. They can be looking at one in a trade, but this has been a theme for this team for a number of years now. Do you think this plays into it, Struddy?
Well, I mean, you look at the minutes that the top two guys eat, and it does, you're like, okay, how much time am I actually going to get here, right? Those two guys are monsters in the best way possible. So it does challenge you a bit, and you not getting power play time. So usually a third line center can get some on the second unit, let's say. And then you all of a sudden have, then now your PK, which, okay, that's, you hope you get PK, but your 5-on-5 minutes are a bit crunched as well. So yeah, I could see that happening, but they have got some pretty decent free agents coming in the past. I don't know. How do you sell the vision of you being the centerpiece of a third line? I think that's really important for them to do. And they just don't have it right now. That third line is not, it's not that it's bad. It's just not what it needs to be, I guess is the way I'd phrase it.
Yeah, you got to go in there and be something they haven't had before. Right. You got to clearly be the guy that's, goes in there and understands and has confidence that I'm going to do this role and, I'm tailor-made for this role and believe in that role, because you're going to walk in and be the fourth best center on the team. I mean, that's just when you have Nugent Hopkins, Draisaitl, and McDavid standing there. But it's, if you're built right, you can have confidence that there is a need here. And if you want to win. So, for certain players, it won't be much of an option, but for certain guys, I would say there's lots to be drawn to. We got one more, Zuby. We're getting late here.
Sure. My name Jeff wants to know, we'll go with something fun here to finish. We've talked about this a little bit before, but my name Jeff wants to know, Struddy, have you read those books behind you? What are they for? Looks like you have your own law library. How many of them have you read? And if so, do you have a favorite, or do you have a...
Yeah. I've read them all. Yeah, they're all kind of random ones, I guess, kind of history. But the one I really enjoyed Leo Tolstoy's War and Peace. It's an unbelievable book. If you haven't read it, I'm actually deliberating about doing it again. It's such a good book.
Huh.
You could probably
available
get that
in
on
audio book?
Yeah, you could get it on audio, but it doesn't count. That
narrates?
doesn't count. But it's a great
hope it's
book.
like James Earl Jones or someone for a book that epic and long. It's got to be an amazing voice.
So good. That's a lot of hours on elliptical.
It's actually me doing my Russian accent from when I picked up Brownie. That's who voices it.
I forgot about that prank. That was good. That was funny stuff. All right, and that was Ask Us Anything, brought to you by Maria Gallus, Mortgage Broker. Time for our play of the day, brought to you by Mainline Water and Sewer, your trusted choice for over 40 years, specializing in sewer line replacement and expert water line repair and replacement. Their trenchless method is quick, low impact, and often finished in a day, complete with backflow protection. Check them out at mainlinewaterandsewer.ca. Struds, what are we thinking tonight?
Mattias Ekholm hat trick. Hey, we got to recognize that. That's unbelievable. It'd be a great thing for him. Great memory. And I loved what he said, my kids, unfortunately, weren't there. They probably were asleep, so we weren't able to watch it. So they'll wake up to find Dad had a hat trick in the morning. Pretty cool breakfast table chatter. Oilers day off tomorrow, by the way, so he'll be there.
Is it an Oilers day off tomorrow?
That's what I saw. But
oh, really interesting. Let me check. Oh yeah, players are off tomorrow. There you go. The fact that the Oilers they waited 20 years for a defenseman to get a hat trick, and then it happened in back-to-back game Struds. That's the nutty part. 20 years in between, and then boom, boom, back-to-back games.
This is a golden era of Oilers hockey. Enjoy it. It's a golden era. And we'll get to see most nights something pretty special.
I said stand by for our storyline bet for the next game. Ty Emberson, hat trick. That's going to be the next one.
You imagine the odds?
3 for 3.
Imagine
those would be good odds.
Just insane.
All right. Nice job tonight, guys. We will be back tomorrow night. At least Struds and Brownie and Zuby will. I'm off for a couple of days, but we will do an off-night podcast tomorrow night. Do you guys decide on a time, Struds? You want to tell everybody? What did we say?
No, you know what? I put it in there. Brownie said anything. Is it you, Zoobs, tomorrow night?
It might be Steve, actually. We're still sorting that out.
I'm going to shoot for 8 to 8:30. I think we're going to try to go a little earlier. There's only 2 later games, I think, tomorrow. So that's probably what we're going for, guys.
We got tons of content coming your way. Got your back tonight. Got your back tomorrow night, off night pod. Struddy's World Wednesday. Got your back on Thursday, and then post-game pod on Saturday as well. So keep it dialed in on all of our channels. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Good job tonight, boys. Thank you.
See you, boys.
My pleasure.
See you, everybody.